use the chat box for comments and questions. And please, let's also maintain a good sitting position, and let's always be safe and be at alert. So that's that for the safety brief. Thank you. So moving on, we are going to be taking the opening remark by our D&I chairperson, Mrs. Mfon Otite Douglas. Please, ma, are you on the call? Okay, please, Madam Tessie, please, can you take the opening remark on her behalf? Madam Tessie, please, can you hear me?
It seems our network is bad. I don't know.
Yeah, the network is actually very fluctuating. This is very bad this evening. But the opening remark, just want to welcome everybody to this evening's program. It is a program, scheduled to celebrate women all over the world, and to always remind us that it is very important that we celebrate ourselves as well as women that we are. We are very special and we are very important in the society, because any society without woman cannot really move forward. So we celebrate all the women on the call once again, and we want each and every one of us to please listen very attentively and learn one or two things from our speakers today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we are going to be taking the icebreaker. Icebreaker is just like a brief questions to spice up the moment. So it's going to be taken by Ume Claire. Claire, are you on the call?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Good evening, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to start the icebreaker. So please, can you next slide, please? Okay. So the first question is, when is the International Women's Day celebrated? Okay, this is how we're going to do it. When I read a question, you just put in your answer in the chat box. All right, let's see the sharp minds here. So when is the International Women's Day celebrated? Okay, I'm not seeing any answer. This is easy now. Are you putting
I
shakara?
don't
Put
even
your
know how to
answer in the
raise my
chat box.
hand. No,
No, you don't
I'm
have to
having
raise your hand.
difficult.
Just type it on the chat
Yeah, in the
box.
box. Yes. Okay, March 8th. Okay, very good. That's correct. Okay, so next question, number two. What is the theme of the International Women's Day 2023? Hmm. This one is a tough one. So do you have any idea, any clue? Anybody has an idea? Okay, somebody said A. Is that correct? I want to see more answers, please. More answers.
Okay,
Okay,
please
since this one is very
just
tough. So the answer is C. The answer is actually C. Digital innovation and technology for gender equality. That's the answer. The answer is C. So thanks to all that tried. So next up is number three. Let's see. What is the purpose of International Women's Day? Okay. What is the purpose? Why are we having this celebration? Like, what is the purpose? Okay, this one's easy now. I think your answer should come in faster because of time. Okay, I'm not seeing any answers yet. Okay, somebody said C. Yes, that is very, very correct. C is the answer, to celebrate the social, economic, and so on. So, next question, number 4. What is the significance of the color purple in relation to International Women's Day? Hmm. Mm, okay, any idea? Anybody has an idea? What is the significance of this purple color we're always using on International Women's Day? Because everything has a significance, right? So, like, what do you think the significance is? You don't see your answer. Let's bring in those answers. Let's bring in those answers. Okay, somebody said C, somebody said D. Okay. All right, so the answer is actually C. Yes. It represents justice and dignity. Yes, that is the meaning of the color purple that we're always using. It represents justice and dignity. So the next question, number 5. What is the name of the first woman to receive the Nobel Prize? Okay, let's see. People are good in current affairs. So, what is the name of the first woman to receive the Nobel Prize? Any idea? Is it Marie Curie, Jane Austen, Florence Nightingale, Rosa Parks? Any idea? Come on, let me see your answers. Just try, put something there. Okay, someone said C, Florence Nightingale. Okay, let me see more answers. Let me see more answers. Okay, so because of like time, let's just end it here. So the answer for number 5 is A, Marie Curie. So thanks to all who participated. It had been really fun. So we move on to the next on the agenda.
Okay. Thank you very much, Claire, for this icebreaker session. So we're going to the keynote speech, which is going to be taken by a male who wants to, celebrate Women's Day with us because we actually advocate for diversity and inclusion. So, Odige Anthony, let me just read out his citation. Odige Antonio Saretin is a scientific officer too in the Department of Geology, Federal University of Petroleum Resources, Fupre. He finished his first degree in Energy and Petroleum Studies in Novena University, Ogume, Delta State. He rounded up his master's program in petroleum geology recently. He has acquired a health and safety course 123. He also has other skills like 3D flooring and epoxy floor installation. He plays musical instruments and sings. Okay. He is an Amazon publisher, KDP. He's a Christian and someone who loves to motivate people. So please let's welcome our keynote speaker. Please, sir, you have just 6 minutes to give your keynote speech. Thank you very much. Mr. Anthony, please, if you're on the call, the floor is yours.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Good evening, sir.
Confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, yes,
Good
please go ahead.
evening, Anthony.
Thank you so much. Actually good to be here today and coming forth to share this wonderful section with you all. I really want to thank the organizers and Nigeria Girls in STEM, collaborating with XP Fupre and also XP Warrior Section 104, DNI, that's diversity and inclusion. On behalf of my section chair of Section 104, Dr. Tani Biambo and his ESCOs, I want to also thank them for this opportunity and also diversity and inclusion chairperson, Mrs. Umfom Tite Douglas, okay, for this privilege to. It's my pleasure to address the House on this special day, which is the International Women's Day. It is something to reckon about. It's actually a wonderful time, to celebrate. This like a world celebrated day. And like Miss Uma was trying to let us know that was trying to give us some questions that we ought to answer. And those questions are questions that could actually make us understand why these celebrations, were being designed to be celebrated. Okay. Happy International Women's Day to you all once again. Okay. Just because I have a short time, I'm just going to explain a lot of things to you all about um today's celebration and what the topic is all about. I know last year was about acceleration progress, but this year it's a different topic entirely. But they kind of look alike, but there's a little different, or there's a little shift. And this year is talking about acceleration action, which is women empowerment in energy through inclusive and equitable practices. Moving further, there is need to clarify some basics. I guess I've started now, so please, you can actually pay attention to listening to me. Thank you. Let's look at what is accelerate actions. It simply means upward movement, going beyond the level of stagnancy or slow pace to a fast progression. It is moving beyond gradual progress to international measurable change. Okay, now let's look at inclusive practices. This includes attitudes and methods that give room to everyone to learn, exhibit, make their contribution, as well as benefit from society. Now, equitable practices also means creating an atmosphere, method, as well as attitude also, for different individuals to be productive uniquely. It is creating specific supportive actions to each person in accordance with his or her ability and not based on gender. So you can understand that the subtopic for today try to tell us about this swift international upward movement from the utmost generally acceptable cliche that women are they are the one they are supposed to be given the opportunity to do wonderful things, to come out and be, you know, someone that could actually change the country. And there's always a statement that always comes to our mind that says that women are weaker sex and therefore should not be given opportunity to advance in certain phase of societal activity. But I will say that they have to be given because you cannot do without a woman or a female when it comes to actualizing a common goal. They both go together. Just like some persons will say that um, there's always a saying that say what a man can do, a woman can do that better. In some cases, they might be right because I really believe that it does not lies in the strength of human, but actually the mentality and the psychology of what you can actually read or what you can actually bring out. Okay, fine. Society is not stagnant. It is in continuous progression. Therefore, ideologists, all that would make it more on swiftly, must be an inclusive one in all quarters. So it does not define more or less of any gender. So I want us to take note of that. Now, the undeniable truth is that women are humans, though different by biological functionality, but not by essential human makeup. They are therefore by no means any lesser than their opposite sex. That being the case, they deserve the right to be included in all societal affairs without prejudice or settlements, even in the political, the legal, the social gathering, industrial, or commercial offices. Yes, they should be given the right to perform their duty. They should be given the opportunity also to showcase, exhibit, make their contribution as well as benefits to the society. Same way their main folks does. Unproductive skills and efficiency is not dependent on biological functionality or physical makeup, but also by cognitive strength and efficiency with this. I dare to say that if we would always go by physical agility without corresponding cognitive powers to define who is efficient from who is not capable, then we won't be running at a great loss because we would not get to maximize our available resources for effective productivity. And this leaves us at the level of mediocrity. If physical agility has been the definition of strength in the time of our forefathers, to place men in certain areas above the women folks, in our contemporary era, that is already being overturned because we have women today who are physically agile than some men. I guess we can actually attest to that. I guess so. More so, if we would judge by cognitive strength, then still seems no longer valid because a greater percentage of intellectuals in our present day society seems to be emerging from women. Now, let's look at the lives of Ngozi Okochi-Iweala. We all know that it's presently the Director General of the World Trade Organization. She has actually also been our former finance minister also. So you can know that women, if they are being given the opportunity to perform well in the society, I believe that they can do very well, even more than the main folks. Even we also have some persons, if we come back locally to our organizations, we also find out that we celebrated one of our female gender recently. Not other, she is engineer Amalate as the fourth chairman of the Association of Professional Women's Engineers of Nigeria. It was recently she was inaugurated, and she is now the chairman of that association. So you can imagine she is now given the opportunity to perform that task. And when we were there at the inauguration, we heard a lot of good news and reports about her, as she was diligent, as she always carried people along. And that is also like a platform too, where ladies can actually be opportune and given the space to perform their duty. I also will be
Sir
talking.
Anthony, sorry to
Yeah.
cut you short. Please, can you like kind of round up because there's actually going to be another meeting by 6:40, and
Oh,
we still have more speakers. So sorry
all
for the
right. Thank
short
you.
time. Thank you
Wait,
very
all
much,
right.
sir.
So I should be rounding up right now, and thank you so much, Ify, for that. That there's no much time. Okay. Now, society should adapt. That's my bone of contention now. Society should adapt and create a more better atmosphere, method as well as attitude that supports women. They are unique in their various capacity. Society should therefore create specific support to each according to their own unique nature and ability and not gender assessment. There are needed resources and tools for authentic and successful work in their various places. They should be given voices and appropriate place and condition too. So that is what I have to say, and I'm going to end my speech here. And I will say women can do far better if they connect to their counterparts, connecting, having relationship in their workplace, churches, hospitals, schools, industry, companies. And I believe that they will do just fine. Let's support women. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful keynote speech. I'm so sorry that your time has to be cut short because of
It's
another
all right. Okay.
program. All right, so we'll be moving on to our other speakers. First is Jennifer Chioma Amadi. Let me just quickly read a citation. Please, our speakers, because of time, we'll just give you 20 minutes each. Please just try to kind of give a summary. I'm so sorry for this short time. But let's just try to summarize and pass our message across. So Jennifer Choma Amadi is a public relations and corporate communications professional at Kenyon International West Africa Company Limited. She holds a degree in gas engineering from the University of Port Harcourt and a postgraduate diploma in mass communication from Rivers State University. With expertise in strategic communication, business development, and brand management, Jennifer has led high-profile campaign, CSR initiatives, and corporate positioning strategies. Beyond her corporate role, she's a mentor, writer, and speaker passionate about youth empowerment, leadership, and career growth. So, please, Mrs. Jennifer, the floor is yours. You're welcome, ma.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I don't know if it's possible for me to share my screen. Could you stop sharing so I can do so?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, so in the next 10 minutes or so, according to what they said, the time is short, but let's try and make it, worthwhile. Yeah, so before we begin, can you let me know who has made a difference in your professional journey so far? It could be your father, your mother, your teacher in primary school or in secondary school or university, whatever level you're at. Let me know in the comments, in the chat section, who has made a difference in your professional journey. Are there people typing? Okay, let me just check the chat box. Who has made a difference in your career journey? I can't see any comment. All right. Okay. So the moderator, let me know if anybody makes a comment in that line. All right. So the topic or the theme for that was given to me is advancing equity, right? And we can't talk about advancement in terms of um women empowerment. We can't talk about it without mentioning mentorship. And equity, I love the word equity. It's a safer ground to play on compared to equality because we are not equal, right? In a certain way that the world has shaped that that word, right? But equity is a fairer ground, knowing that we are different in our own way. We are all different, but even in our differences, we can be given certain opportunities, we can be given platforms, to express ourselves, especially in the industry we find ourselves, right? So equity is, creating that platform, like what the keynote speaker said, creating a platform where everyone can showcase their strength, right? So I work in an oil and gas servicing firm, right? There are certain things my male counterparts can do, lifting of valves and all of that. I can't do that, right? Even though I studied gas engineering, but I have found my own space in the public relations sphere. So, and that's what equity is all about: finding everybody's strength and ensuring that they express themselves right in their chosen field, right? And one of the ways we can advance that advance this vision or motion we are trying to push to the world is through mentorship. Every great person, I beg to I stand to be corrected. Every great person had a mentor, had somebody that looked out for them, had somebody that pushed them to from where they were to where they are at the moment. And one of those great persons is Katrin Johnson, the NASA mathematician. She was mentored by some of the greatest women and even men in the world. And there's also Curie, who was a scientist. She was a chemist and physicist, right? And she was mentored greatly or influenced greatly by her father's mentorship, right? So, and it shows you that we can't move forward without the word mentorship. And that's one of the things that I would like to draw attention to this evening. Why does mentorship matter? Why does it matter? Because it provides guidance and builds confidence. Trust me, there are certain things that I've become confident over the years because of the kind of mentors I have, attached myself to and I've even submitted to, right? So, and it opens doors, opportunities, and networks for everyone. Like as long as you know your onion. Now, attaching yourself to a mentor is not a parasitic kind of relationship where you just want to take and take and take. It's more like give and take, right? You have to present value as much as you want value, right? And that would open doors for you. Your mentor will not recommend you for a job if he or she knows that you're not capable of handling that particular position. And another thing is that it drives personal and professional growth. That like you can see that in the lives of those that have attach themselves to mentors who see their ability, who see the value they bring. And like I mentioned, it's a win-win. Like it's not one-sided. When you think about mentorship as women, as men, right? We're talking about inclusion, right? So I believe that there are men on this call, even though it's International Women's Day. So let's have it at the back of our minds that mentorship is one way we can drive equity in different industries we find ourselves. Now, research has shown from Forbes to different sites that I went through just trying to research about this particular topic. Research has shown that mentorship in STEM has boosted retention and success in women in STEM, right? So it has also created role models and a supportive network. Like I mentioned, Katrin Johnson, she wouldn't have climbed the ladders that she did if she didn't have the right support system. And that's what mentorship is all about, bridging the gap so we can grow from one level to another. And it leads to innovation and industry breakthroughs. Trust me, would have more breakthroughs in our industry, whether you are in oil and gas, whether you are a student, whatever industry you would find yourself as students now, and when you eventually graduate, right? Mentorship would lead to industry breakthroughs because you're acquiring knowledge that would bring about a whole lot of difference in the field that you find yourself. But there's another part to it. If mentorship and career growth, they go hand in hand because your mentor wants to mentor somebody that is optimistic, somebody that is futuristic, somebody that knows where he or she is going. They want to know that I'm investing in the right person that is interested in developing himself or herself. And one of the ways we can we should always have at the back of our mind when it comes to career development is continuous learning and skill building. You have to continuously learn. There's never a point where we get to and we say we know it all. It's a continuous thing. In fact, the day you stop learning is the day you start dying because you become irrelevant. The world is changing real quick every second, and we must be up to date as students, as career persons, whichever level you find yourself. Those in final year, you have to start thinking, what are the skills that I should acquire at this point so that when I'm done with school, I can know, where to fit in. Right. So everybody needs to be like a learner, a continuous learner, every single person. And one of the interesting parts is that I would always share is that um the skills that I learned in my previous job actually opened the door for my current job. And you can't imagine, the endless opportunities that skill building can open for you. The next is networking and professional growth opportunities. That's what, career development, should be, should be benched on, right? Always be open to networking. Now the interesting part is that Royal Lynn, who invited me for, or who, mentioned this event to me, we met at NIE's 2024, and she came to our booth, that's Kenyon International booth, and we just had, a conversation. From there we exchanged numbers, and it's been, it's a growing relationship. That's networking. And obviously is building our professional growth as well. I know somebody like Royaline, and she knows somebody like me, so it's a win-win, right? And we can't talk about growing. We can't talk about developing ourselves without setting clear goals, clear career goals. Where do we want to be? I know it sounds cliche when you say, what's your 5 years plan? What's your 10 years plan? But trust me, if you don't have a plan, you would fall for anything. You would be moving, like you wouldn't even have a direction. So yes, it's important to set smart goals. It never grows old. It's never a cliche. Set your goals. Even if you don't meet up, at least you have something to benchmark, right? So set clear goals. Don't just, write something because New Year resolution. No, have, goals that are realistic to yourself, that you would want to make yourself proud first before you want to even show off, to your friends and family. Make yourself proud. Be the first person that receives your goal. And obviously, one of the most important thing is to, glorify God at the end of the day. Now, the best practices for mentorship and career growth, for me, they go hand in hand. One of the ways we can establish, mentorship that would lead to career growth at the end of the day is to cultivate an open relationship and trust. Cultivate open communication and trust, right? There is no relationship that would ever thrive without communication. And even trust is a key thing. Ensure that your mentor, trusts you enough to share certain information with you. And likewise, ensure if you are a mentee to somebody, also, or if you're a mentor to somebody, ensure that your mentee trusts you enough to, speak to you about their struggles, about, their challenges, and you don't judge them, right? And the next is to create structured mentorship programs. Right? I was privileged to lead a mentorship program that ran for almost a decade, right? And I could see the transformative power it had, or impact it had on those who participated. When we have a structured program, not, one-off kind of things. When as a school or as an organization, SPE, it's important that every chapter has a structured mentorship program that will track the growth of every participant. And it's so important. That's the only way we know, okay, who is growing and who is not. And last on this list is to leverage industry partnership and training. This can never be overemphasized. And one of the things that I love most about my CEO, Dr. Victor Epenyo, is that he's driven by bridging the gap between academia and the industry. And I've seen the beautiful progression, right? How, back then as students, it was so difficult to get an IT space. It was so difficult to, see, have that experience of that industry experience where you're seeing theory come alive. you're seeing, it's beyond the books, it's beyond the textbooks. You're seeing the equipment live on, live. You're feeling them. You can tell the difference. It's important that we leverage this partnership and build a solid career path for our women and our men. Right now, in conclusion, building an equitable STEAM communication community starts with mentorship, both giving and receiving, whether you're the mentor or the mentee. So it's important that we support one another as women. Our career growth is dependent on the kind of support that we get from one another and create opportunities for everybody. I saw a post today that said, I want be the kind of woman that would adjust another woman's crown and not making noise about it. And I was like, that's the kind of woman I want to be, not the one you would, adjust and then the whole town will hear about it. So it's important that we have it at the back of our minds that we are meant to support each other. And one of the ways we can advance equity, that's creating a fair ground for everyone to play, is by championing mentorship, and that will translate to career growth at the end of the day. Thank you so much for listening. Are there questions? Are there questions right now so we can move forward? Thank you.
Um, I'm Okaba just here to take the question and answer session.
Uh,
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. I can hear you from my end.
Can you hear me? All right. Thank you for the educative and empowering session. We are really grateful to have you on this meeting. So, if anybody has questions to ask, you can drop it in the chat box and I'll read them out loud. Or you'll be given an opportunity to speak. Question, you can drop it
Can you
in the
can you
chat
hear me?
box.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so ma'am, thank you very much for this insightful lecture, and thank you also for keeping to time as well. We really appreciate. And there is going to actually be time for questions and answer. We'll just give the second speaker a time
Exactly.
to speak, then we'll just take it together. All right, thank you very much. Let me just display my slide for the second speaker.
All right.
All right, so our second speaker, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, our second speaker is Onyinyechi Gloria Udemezue. So Onyinyechi Gloria Udemezue is the Public Stroke Media Relations Officer, Public Affairs Department, Petroleum Training Institute, Efurun. Onyinyechi Udemezue has HND in Mass Communication and Masters in Peace Studies and Conflict Resolution. Before joining the employ of the Petroleum Training Institute, she practiced journalism in the mainstream media for over a decade. She's a remarkable individual who demonstrates exceptional strength, resilience, and compassion, often making significant contributions to her community through her unwavering dedication to causes she believes in, while inspiring others with her courage and leadership qualities. She's a dedicated Christian and a great philanthropist. So please, if we're not busy, please let's just welcome our second speaker. Ma'am, please, you have 30 minutes. Please just briefly tell us what you have for us. I'm so sorry for the short time, actually. Thank you very much. Ma'am,
Hello, good evening,
Onyechi.
everybody. Thank you
Okay,
for
good.
having me this evening. Yes, I'm on, right?
You're welcome, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
we can hear
Thank you,
you.
everyone, and good evening. Yes, I want to say happy International Women's Day to all of us and happy celebration indeed. It is my privilege, it's a big honor to be in your midst this evening. And I want to thank the organizers for the privilege to speak to us this evening. Actually, I want to center my speech this evening or my discussion this evening on education. And before I do that, we have to know that as direction, as Latin action, women empowerment through inclusive and equitable practice, at this current level it is, or the progress we are making, it will still take us up till 2158 to achieve full gender parity. And this is according to World Economic Forum. So International Women's Day is a big opportunity we have to celebrate ourselves and to tell ourselves the bitter truth. Are we there yet? And where are we? And what steps have taken so far to, bring this quality or this close the disparity we are talking about. Now, this opportunity we have to reinforce the fact that everyone has a role to play in forging a more gender balanced world. That's just the truth. And this achievement we must celebrate. We cannot do it without, first of all, having our minds educated on what we are pursuing. And what is that thing we are asking for? Equality. And how do we get this equality if you don't know your rights? So that's why education comes to play. I want to assure us that by the time women are given the right education, okay, this disparity will be closing even faster than being predicted, as in the death given as 2158. Okay, so now I want to let us know that when you educate a woman, women are educated, you have solved a great, large problem in the society. Okay, women's education is not being taken to the fright burner the way it's supposed to be. I happened to practice journalism for more than 10 years before I joined PTI, and that gave me opportunity to interact with people from the core northern part of Nigeria. If you go to core northern part of Nigeria, you will see that we still have a very long way in terms of bridging this gap we're talking about. So education is still very far behind. People are not taking it for serious. They're not taking serious of it. They're not taking note of it. They're not. I don't even know how to start saying that. But the truth is that your heart will bleed if you see the level of ignorance women are into, the level of ignorance that will give you a woman, make you to give a man the right to molest you, to dehuman you, to do all sorts of things to you. So this, I think we should take more seriously education of women. And now, coming out from the northern part of Nigeria, I now want to talk generally about Nigeria. Now, when you train a child, a girl child, give her sound education, you are bridging the gap already. So I want to encourage all of us who are students, the students amongst us, please don't take your education for granted. See it as a great privilege you have over many thousands out there who don't have the same opportunity you have. And I must tell you that as a student, you don't say, because my parents doesn't have all the money to give me the kind of life I want to live. Because of that, you are doing them a favor going to school. No, the favor is all yours because at the end of the day, you are the one who is being liberated from abject poverty, from ignorance, from not knowing your right. Because when you are educated, you know your right. No man can trample on you. That is the truth. And you will be able to compete favorably with your mates and with those even ahead of you. I must be honest with you. When I have to bring in a personal story here, when I finished my secondary school I got admission to study law. And then there was no money for me to study law because of the school I got admission. And my mom was like, why not go and settle down, marry, and forget about this school thing? I said, no, mom, I can't do that. I have to go to school. So I have to sit for another jam poly then to get admission to study mass communication. Okay, so eventually when I got admission, it wasn't easy for me to go to school because there was no sponsor anywhere to say, okay, I'm paying your school fees or I'm doing this or that. No. But I told myself, I saw, yeah, I have to go to school, come what may. And I'm not going to remain like my mom, who is ignorant of her rights. Because if she had education, nobody would trample on her right, because her rights was greatly trampled upon. And when I was growing up looking at those things, I felt so bad. And I told myself, no, I am going to change the narrative. And I did. And I did. I happened to be the first person to graduate from among my siblings before the younger one started, taking the same step to go to school now. And now everybody is happy because that yoke, I was able to break it. And somebody has to stand in gap to do that. And like the first speaker said, having mentors. I had great people I was looking up to. I had women that when I look at them, I say, wow, I want to be like so person. I want to be like Ngozo Konjo-Iweala. I want to be like Oprah Winfrey. I want to be like so person. So that encouraged me to strive more, to push even when the forces were against me. So I have to tell us that women are not asking for special treatment. No. What we are asking or demanding for is fairness, equality, and respect. A world where women have equal rights and opportunities is a world that prospers. When women are being given the proper education, there is prosperity in that society. Just look at it. And by supporting education for girls, encouraging women in leadership, and creating workplace that fosters equality, we contribute to a more just society. And we won't have women, doing prostitution everywhere. No. If all these girls who are on the streets can be given the enlightenment they deserve or they required and shown the right way to go, I must say that our society will get better. That's just the truth. On this day, let us reaffirm our commitment to building a future where women and men stand together as equals, lifting each other towards greater heights. Change begins with us. Change begins with you. Change begins with me. And together we can shape a better tomorrow for future generations. And I also want to let us know that while we pursue inclusiveness, we must also build ourselves as women. We must be ready to take over the power and wear the shoe that we are asking to be given to. The reason is, if we are not ready, when the disparity is eventually removed, we may not be able to fit into the big shoe that is ahead of us. And to our men, please, our men, understand that the rise of a woman is not about the fall of a man. No. When women rises, societies are better. We are not trying to form men. No, not at all. And everyone can play a role in forging gender parity. That is the truth. Gender balance is not solely a woman's issue, no, but also an economic issue. Because if a woman is empowered, I want to tell you the truth that the village, the community, I know where I come from, my education has, because of so many girls are in school, I've given scholarship to so many of them, as little as I can, encouraging them to, in fact, each time I travel and see these girls doing so well in school, I feel honored. I feel so fulfilled. That's just my dream. So gender balance is not solely women's issue, no, but an economic issue. Let us have that in mind. And as women, we must, first of all, place high value on ourselves before others can value us. If you don't value yourself, nobody will value you. That's just the truth. Okay? And you must first conquer your fears before you can conquer your world. If you don't conquer the fear that, how can I compete with men? How can I, like in my office, I work in midst of men, and I'm not afraid of anything because I know my onions, I know what I'm supposed to do, I know my right, I know my job. So I am not afraid. So I first of all conquer my fear before I was able to conquer my word. And that's the same word I'm leaving on for all of us tonight. You must first conquer your fears before you can conquer your word. And I encourage you to, like the first speaker said, find the people, regardless of their profession, who inspire you, who can bring out the light inside, the fire inside of you. Once you have someone that can encourage you, you can inspire you, just please don't mind the person's profession, look up to that person, and it will help you to, overcome your fears and be what you are desired to be. And I want to conclude here, please. I don't have much to say here. In conclusion, I want to say that empowered women empowered the world. When women are empowered, the world is empowered. And have it in mind that a strong woman is the foundation of a strong society. A strong woman is the foundation of a strong society. There's no two ways about it. Equality is not a privilege, it is a right. Please let us know that when you're asking for equality, it's not a privilege, it is your right to demand for it. And we should, she believed she could, and she did. That's one thing we should know. When women rise, humanity thrives. When women stands out there, humanity thrives. And the future is equal. The time is now. If you don't start it now, tomorrow may be too late for us. Women's rights are not up for debate. Equality is not negotiable. Please, let us have that in mind. An educated woman is an unstoppable force. I can't be stopped. No matter the hurdle I face, nothing can stop me. I push, I kick, I do whatever I can to be seen, to be heard, to be in the forefront. I don't stand behind. No, you must see me wherever I find myself. That is the truth. And there is no limit to what a woman can accomplish. Please have that in mind. No limit to what you can accomplish as a woman. You have the whole world before you. A woman's place is anywhere she chooses to be. If I choose to be the chief executive of principal of PTI tomorrow, it's all about for me to work and get the right qualifications, and I'll be there. I choose to be where I am and not where anybody push me to be. No. And breaking barriers today is for a better tomorrow. When you break these barriers that we're talking about today, tomorrow will be better. Please have that in mind. Okay, and let us also know that feminism is not about making women strong. No, women are already strong. It's about changing the way the world perceive, that strength. It's not already, I'm a very strong person as a woman. So I'm not, but being a female doesn't, or feminist doesn't make me strong. No, I'm already strong. It's just for me to change the narrative, the perception of men, of the world about me. Okay. And behind every successful woman is herself. You have to be your number one cheerleader, if you really want to go forward. That's the truth. And the power of a woman is the power of the world. Don't wait for opportunity. Create one. Create one. I never had opportunity of going to school. I created it myself. So create your own opportunity. Please, women are the architect of change. Anywhere you see a woman that is trained, you will see great change around there. And that's why some men are very scared of women when women are on top. No, we are not that we will go there want to show power with men. No, not at all. Not at all. And no force is more powerful than a woman determined to rise. When a woman determines that she wants to be at the top, no force can pull her down. Okay? And every woman's success is an inspiration to another woman. When I see my fellow woman succeeding, my greatest author is Chimamanda Adichie. When I look at her, I feel so fulfilled. And I push myself to do more. So when I look at the other women, also Konjiwala, many of them, I get fulfilled and I get to push higher and higher and higher. So when we celebrate a woman today, you support her always, and you will get the best of that woman. Okay? International Women's Day is not just a day, it is a movement. So just let's know that this day we're celebrating is not just a day, it's a movement that we must pursue. Whether you are sleeping, wherever you find yourself, you are talking about women's parity, women's advocacy, women empowerment, women education. That is all I stand for. Thank you very much for having me. God bless you.
Wow. Thank you very much, ma'am, for this wonderful speech. Before we actually move over to the question and answer session, we have some very important persons in our midst. The first is Dr. Michael A. Adebite. He is our section director. So thank you very much for joining us and for celebrating Women's Day with us. And the second person is Mrs. Mpon Otite Douglas, the D&I chairperson. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining the program as well. So we'll be moving over to the next item on the program, which is the question and answer session, which is to be taken by Okaba Destiny. Please, we'll just be taking two questions. Two questions. It can be for one of the speakers or directed to two of the speakers, but we'll just take two questions. Thank you.
All right. Please confirm if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. We just have 5 minutes for the
All
question
right.
and answer. Thank you.
Okay, ma. Thank you, ma, for that inspiring session. That was very empowering to us, and I believe that we'll begin to have more women in male-dominated fields henceforth. All right, so straight down to the question and answer session. If you have any questions to whatever thing that you're not sure about, if you want her to throw more light on anything, please just drop your question in the chat box so that I can read it out loud. We're taking just two questions, as she said. I'm waiting for questions. Okay, there's one here. And questions. Okay, this person says that this is Royaline Augustus. I have a question for the Miss Jennifer. Where can we find mentors and what values could we potentially give? Miss Jennifer, there's a question for you, ma.
Okay,
Person said,
I have a question. Okay, I got the question. Where can we find mentors and what are the kind of values we should project, right? If I got that
yes,
correctly. All right, so you can find your mentors anywhere from okay, you're in school now, from school to church to different platforms that you go to conferences, wherever you go, you can find a mentor. And I think it's all about connection, right? So I've sat in events, or like I've gone to events where like I was listening to different speakers and none of them actually struck a chord until one particular person spoke, and I just told myself I have to connect with this person. So anybody that leaves that kind of strong impression on you, please make the move and approach them. Can I But do your background check first, right, about the person, and know if they are open to mentorship. Not every successful person is open to mentorship, so you have to be sure that this person is open to mentorship. And when I was speaking, I said that mentorship is about presenting value. Now, what kind of values do you want to present to your mentor? I was even speaking about this with my colleagues at the office. Don't present yourself as somebody that is parasitic. You just want to get money from them. You're talking about your school fees, you're talking about your challenges. Even though you have challenges, don't present that at the forefront. Rather, look for a gap in their lives. Ma, can I handle this for you? If the person is a lecturer, can I do some research for you? Can I handle your social media? If the person is outgoing and they have a lot to do, but they have a lot to offer to the world, but they don't have time to be posting on social media. Can you be their social media manager? Think about different areas you can fit into their lives, just to present yourself as a valuable person, not somebody that is hungry, not somebody that has a lot of problems from your parents. No, don't present your weaknesses, don't present your challenges. Just look for a gap in that particular mentor's life, and position yourself as a solution provider, right? Position yourself as the person that can solve the issue in their life. Even if you don't have so much to offer, look for a particular gap that you can fill in, and you know, and present that. So you can meet your mentor anywhere, anybody that strikes a chord, but ensure that the person's values, actually align with yours, because there are a lot of successful persons that have weaknesses, right? And the truth is, once somebody is out there, once the spotlight is on somebody, we feel like they should be perfect. But a lot of successful persons are struggling with one weakness or the other. So ensure that, if for example now you're a female looking for a mentor, if he's a man, ensure that he's somebody that respects himself, that will not take advantage of you. Do you understand what am I communicating? So ensure that your supposed mentor, or the person you are approaching, whether it's a man or a woman, has values that align with yours, and you don't present yourself as cheap. Present yourself as somebody that can solve problems in their lives as well. So I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. So we have another question from Ifoma Lucy. So it reads, what is the best way for young girls to deal with feeling good enough to take up some leadership roles, most especially in male dominated fields? What is the best way for young girls to deal with feeling good enough to take up some
Not
leadership
feeling
roles,
good
most
enough,
especially
sorry.
in male dominated fields?
Like not feeling good enough. Sorry to say mistake.
Okay, I don't know if that
Okay.
question is for me or the second speaker.
Actually for the second speaker.
Alright.
Okay, thank you, Foma. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, the
Yes,
best
ma'am, we
Yes, we
can
way
hear
can
you.
hear
girls
you.
can take up some leadership roles in men-dominated environment or field. Now, I must be honest with you. I work in PTI, and I happen to have opportunity of coming across some students like mechanical departments where you can have 50 students male and just two or three female. And to my greatest surprise, these few female or two or three female are always topping the class. So you have to put in hard work. You have to put in hard work. When you know your lines, when you know your onions, honestly speaking, they will give you a chance. Men will give you a chance. They will respect you. That's the truth. First of all, you have to respect. Like I said, you have to place value on yourself. When you place value on yourself by having the right skill, developing yourself in whichever way you can, having the required what do you call it now, certifications and all that, and you know what you are there to do. Nobody will talk down on you. Nobody will bring you down because you know what to do. So, the thing I will tell you is that you have to work harder than men. That's the truth. You have to work, push yourself, beat yourself if you can. Please, that's the only way you can. And once you know what is required of you, people will respect you. I hope that answers your question, please. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to add a voice to that, right? It's Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. That's
All right. So I read gas engineering, and back then we had we're like seven girls and how many guys in the class. And I remember one of the very vivid occasions where one of my classmates, I was sitting on a desk waiting for the lecture to start, and somebody, he was a huge guy, and he wanted to take the seat or something like that, but there was one kind of scenario that played out. And that day I stood up for myself and literally told him off. And he was making statements like, how old are you? I have your mates at home and everything. And I just said, oh God, this is not your home, or this is not your family. Like, we are here to learn. So know what you're there for. Like what Madam Onichi said, know what you're there for. be focused, right? Don't get to a male dominated field and you're playing around or you're presenting yourself as the mommy of the family or the tea girl. Right, it's good to present that homely aspect when the need arises, but that's not what you're there for. Know who you are, know your worth, know your value, and from the day I stood up for myself and literally respectfully told him that this is a it's a classroom and anybody can sit anywhere, and like we became best of friends at the end of the day. He would even look out for me. So know your worth. Don't enter the box like when they don't present yourself as as childish or fear you're full of fears or anything or anxious. No, know your words, be confident in who you are, and at the end of the day, and always upgrade yourself. Any man would appreciate a woman that upgrades herself. Don't stay with the knowledge of the past. Keep on building yourself, and the sky is just the starting point.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Um, I think this. Can you all hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much
Yeah.
for this session. This is the final part for the question and answer session. So we are going to be moving on to the photograph session. So please let us all turn on our video for the photograph session, please.
Okay, let's turn on our cameras or videos. So I am taking the pictures now. Okay, you can proceed.
Okay, thank you very much. We are coming to the final part of the program, and that is the closing remark, which is going to be taken by Mrs. Tessie Ubaga. Ma, please, are you on the call?
Yes, thank you so much, Lucy. Happy International Women's Day to all of us. I hope I'm being heard.
Yes, ma.
Okay, I want to use this opportunity to appreciate the organizers of this program, the J&I team, SP Fupre chapter, and Nigeria Girls System. I want to also thank our amazing speakers for such insightful and inspiring stories. And also, I want to thank everyone for joining on the call. As we reflect on the theme, accelerate action, let us continue to strive for a world where women and girls have equal opportunities, rights, and freedom. Some key, some key takeaways for us today: don't wait to be pushed, but push yourself. Set your goals and actions and achievements. You must place value on yourself before others will do so. The third one, you need a mentor to acquire more knowledge. I encourage all of us to find people, regardless of their profession, who will inspire us and lighten up the fire in us. Lastly, please, if you are yet to be a member of SPE or you are yet to renew for your membership 2025, kindly reach out to me. I will drop my phone number on the chat box. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Happy International Women's Day. Have a nice evening.
Okay, thank you very much, ma, for this insightful closing remark and
Thank
for
you.
also giving us a brief rundown of what we actually discussed today for those that joined late. So, this is actually the end of our program this evening, and I hope that everyone here learned one or two things. Let's keep on empowering our women, and let's keep on also empowering ourselves by ourselves. So thank you very much to our speakers once again, and thank you everyone for joining. Do have a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done,
Thank
Tim.
you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.